Good afternoon, everybody. It's Tim and Helen with Wine About Real Estate, and guess who we have today? Eric is back. Eric is back with us, and we have exciting news to share with you. Hey, Eric.
Hey, Helen. Hey,
Hey.
Tim.
Hi. So before we get started, don't forget to follow us. Thank you so much for all the love. We get a lot of the messages now. Um, um, Actually, a lot of the conversations that I haven't talked to in a long time with a lot of my friends, they're all saying that we follow. We're giving hopefully some good advice, but they all like our show. So thank you so much. And they're actually very excited about Eric's journey because there are two of my friends have actually asked, "How's Eric doing? And how is his home search going?" And so we'll give you guys an update today.
Yes. So, Eric, you've been hanging out with Tim a lot, right? From the stories and everything.
Cheers, by the way, guys, because I'm drinking a shot. I don't have wine, so there you go.
Cheers.
I'm shooting whiskey today.
It's okay. No drinking, driving. I'll just be at the office for quite a bit, so it's fine. Anyhow, Eric, we've been looking at houses. How was it?
It was good. I mean, we went to go look at properties for, I think, just 2 days. I kind of had a set of criteria. After the first day, I kind of realized, very quickly that, my criteria was even more narrow than I had imagined, which was just that I wanted to get a townhome because I didn't want to have to deal with like a yard. I was not ready for that level of home ownership yet. And I was also much preferred newer properties, ideally a new construction, just because I think, again, it's like the easiest type of home ownership. I feel like these units typically come with warranty. They're, you walk in and everything's, built new, so nothing's breaking down yet. And so it was just a lot easier for me to wrap my head around, owning something like that. So I ended up kind of limiting my scope to new construction townhomes in a particular area. And so Tim and I went to go see basically all of them. In the span of 2 days, I had my favorite, and then just, going under contract. So
in the span of that period, how many homes did you look at altogether?
We looked at 12 different subdivisions.
Wow.
Sometimes multiple.
We did actually more than that. So there's different types of clients, of course, and and Eric being a first-time homeowner, it was easy for him to kind of narrow things down a little bit. Once, again, me and Helen, we always say, hey, the more houses you look at, the more you will find your preference. And the first day we ended up looking at some new construction and worked with the new construction builders. And then we saw a lot of different floor plans, different, the lots and all the different stuff. And Eric's very meticulous. He just to make sure, because we were going to see several properties. He had his notebook, he had his notes, and it was great because he was able to distinguish what he didn't like and what he did like. And the second day, we actually saw, all the different floor plans of the first subdivision and all the different floor plans of the second subdivision the first day. And then the next day, we kind of narrowed down. We actually did some of the resales. So we were able to see 12 houses that day. So we saw a good bit. We saw at least, each subdivision had about 4 different floor plans. So we ended up seeing about 20 homes probably roughly before Eric was just like, you know what? This was, the baseline of this house was kind of where he wanted to be. So it was very, I wouldn't say a simple choice, but it was an easier choice once he saw what was out there.
What else about this house that made it the one for you?
One of the big things I needed was to make sure that it would make for a good investment property down the line, given that, I'm, still not really fully settled down in my career. I still don't know if I'm even going to be in Atlanta. I always want to have the option of being able to turn my property into an investment at some point down the line. And I think it was just in an area that seemed pretty promising in terms of like future appreciation. And so that was definitely a big component of it. We researched some nearby units that were similar, and just to see what the rent was going for. And so you could kind of back calculate and see, okay, if I were to charge that today, would that be like cash flow positive? And so we were able to do a couple of checks like that just to see that, okay, like it does make investment sense, as well as, just like liking the home. So there was kind of the business side of it. I think that was important. And then just personally, like I just liked how the inside looked. It was an open space kind of idea where, you know, from the dining area to the living area, you could just kind of see through all of it with the kitchen in between. There was a nice big island in the middle, which was important. I feel like having a big island in your kitchen is kind of like one of the, like my personal markers of like, oh, I'm an adult now. So I think that was good. Just like a feel good moment too.
There was a lot of work involved in the back end too, because, you know, we did research all of the areas. We did research because the subdivision does have some unique features surrounding it. So Georgia we are a buyer beware state. So once, you know, it's nice to know what's being built around you, or what is around you. And then we did rental comps. So the rental comps definitely was a big factor. The way that we have built it, actually, he has automatic equity right now, based upon the sales price. So, you know, that makes us very happy.
Yeah, that was definitely a big plus.
We can milk Tim for a little bit, but you can tell us the truth. What was the worst thing about working with Tim, and what was your favorite?
Worst thing? I don't know. Like, I think it's like a double, like, so I know Tim personally. So, you know, honestly, one of the concerns I had was just like, you know, I want to be very selfish in the way that I go about this. You know, this is like my first home. This is like, I want to make sure that I get the most professional, the most like high quality service. And so like right in the beginning, I was like, hey, Tim, like, you know, are you going to be my agent, or is someone on your team going to be my agent? Like, what do you think is the best thing? And he just straight up said, like, in a very like big brotherly way, almost, he was like, I'm just going to take care of you. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to take your word for it. But like, you know, what I didn't want to happen was that I couldn't feel like I was able to get the best service because I knew him and he just treated me like someone he knew. And so that was a concern. But, you know, as soon as we, you know, started, you know, he started the, what do you call it, the drip campaign, where I get emails every day about properties that might interest me and stuff. Like, as soon as we started talking business, like, it was 100%, you know, good service. So I want to say that, you know, anyone else looking for, you know, an agent, I think Tim is a good one. I had a good experience. But also, like, it was funny because right before, you know, I started this process, I read a book on negotiating, and I was just kind of like, oh, I want to make sure like I can really negotiate and stuff. In practice, what ended up happening was like Tim just told me what to say and I said it, and it worked out wonderfully. The worst thing about working with Tim, maybe taking away the satisfaction of being able to negotiate myself. Like, everything was good.
You picked a really good home. We're so happy for you. Congratulations. And we're so excited to continue this journey with you and check in with you again in a week or so. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much.
Eric will be in his home by July 17th. Guys, so
there you go.